Hi, this is Ella for MVM. Today I'm giving you a preview of Moonshot, a game-by-game Shuttle Labs. This game celebrates the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. Two teams of players take on the role of two space programs in the Cold War space race. Who will be the first one to deploy astronauts to the moon? Play the game and find out. Each team or space program consists of a politician and an engineer who need to cooperate in order to win. The engineer wants to construct rocket blueprints, install modules, and test rockets in order to successfully launch a space mission. The politician, on the other hand, uses their influence to push their mission to success, while sabotaging their opponent's work. There are different ways to play Moonshot. With 4 players, you play in teams of 2. With 2 players, a player takes on both roles. And with 3 players, you play 2 versus 1. Before I continue with the preview, I'd just like to remind you that the game you see here is a prototype and therefore does not totally reflect what it will look like in its final form. Now on to the game. The play area consists of the politics board, where each side will be playing maneuver cards, which gives you bonuses in the game that help you launch your missions. Each side gets a number of influence tokens that you can place to help make sure the maneuver is successful. Because if you have more influence tokens on the card than your opponent, the card takes effect. But there are also bluff tokens, which means that you can convince your opponent that you are pushing for a certain card when really you have other plans. You also have the chance to escalate, meaning you can postpone the evaluation of a card and the tokens are left on it until the next round. The politician then covers the escalated card with 1 card still in their hand. The highest level of escalation is 3. Another thing a politician can do is announce a new mission. They select a random mission from the mission deck and place it on the table. There is a limit of 3 missions that can be present at one time. A mission card indicates the risk involved in the mission. For example, Animals in Space indicates you need to draw risk cards 2, 1, and 1. These risk cards link back to the parameters needed in order to launch a rocket. For example, in Fatal Space Garbage 2, you might need a level 11 in structure, a level 6 in electronics, and a level 5 in code. I'll go into how the level of risk is determined later. The politician can also pay popularity in order to gain influence tokens, which help you ensure the success of your maneuvers. And they also announce the launch of a rocket or abort a launch. Now going back to maneuver cards, the success of a maneuver gives resources to the engineer, like money, tactiles, or tokens. So let us now see what the engineer area looks like. The engineer mostly works on building on their rocket blueprint. They need to draw technology tiles, of which there are different types, like structure, electronics, and payload. At the back of these tiles are patterns. When you buy these tiles, they need to be immediately installed on your rocket blueprint. When you place it on the board, the icon in the middle automatically increases the value of the rocket parameters. Just move the cubes on the board to show this. When you match the icons on the edges to form a pattern, then the rocket parameters also go up. The blueprint board also has places to install modules. These modules give you conditions that, when fulfilled, give you different bonuses that raise the parameters on your board. For example, this one shows that if you match the symbols showing on the middle of the tiles, which are adjacent to each other, you raise 3 parameters depicted on it. Now, the engineers and politicians are doing these things simultaneously in order to help you launch space missions. Once done with their actions, they go into the launch phase. In the launch phase, first you have to check if the payload required is on the rocket. In Animals in Space, you need a dog. The engineer during their turn should have paid for this. It's $2 for a dog, $5 for a satellite, and $7 for an astronaut. Now you must face the risk cards associated with the mission. You place your not-so-mini rocket on the risk card and try to eliminate it. You roll the risk die, add in testing bonuses that the engineer did and paid for during their turn, and check the corresponding value on the risk level table. If the parameters are greater than or equal to the value, then the conditions are met. The Rocket Mini then moves to the next risk card until all risks are eliminated and the rocket is a success. If the parameters are not met, the rocket goes kaboom or is destroyed. This nets you -2 in popularity and -3 if there are lives on board, like a dog or a human. Move the popularity token accordingly. You go through several rounds of this with engineers working furiously to increase rocket parameters and politicians playing maneuver cards to get resources or place sabotage tokens on rocket blueprints until one team successfully launches a mission to the moon. And that was a preview of Moonshot, which is on Kickstarter today. Please check the link in the description below. Please also click on the subscribe button and follow us on all our social media channels, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Again, this is Ella. See you next time.